Andy Harris, Bloomberg US legal reporter, was actually inside the courtroom. Andy, tell us about the judge and the comments that the judge had for Paul Manafort. Pretty tense, I imagine.
She was quite cross with him, you might say. She criticized Manafort several times for lying, both in the lead up to his being charged, after he was being charged, after he pleaded guilty before her last year. She criticized him routinely for what, to her, even through today's proceeding, seemed like a resistance, if not a outright failure, to accept responsibility for what he had done. Manafort, to his credit, gave a more heartfelt, if husky-voiced, allocution and address to the judge today, expressing responsibility for what he had done, more so than he had and more forcefully than he had last week before Judge Ellis in Alexandria. In the end,
yes,
it didn't really seem to help him much, as the judge sentenced him to 60 months on one conspiracy count involving money laundering and, of course, illegal lobbying, then 13 more months on a second count, obstruction of justice, tampering of witnesses. The
yes,
first 30 months of that first count will run concurrently with the sentence that he received from Judge Ellis last week. So it's a net of 43 more months in prison on top of the 47 he's already going to serve.
And of course, we don't know whether the president will pardon him at some point. That will be a question that we'll be asking now. But I want to know about this particular judge, because Roger Stone is in front of this judge. Will this decision and the comments made in the courtroom have any impact on Roger Stone and his defense?
Well, the judge made it very clear, as did Judge Ellis last week, that this is not a referendum or even a case about whether or not there is Russian collusion with the Trump campaign in 2016. Roger Stone's case, of course, is tangential to that in terms of what he may have gleaned from WikiLeaks during the election. He's in trouble with the judge for possibly violating her gag order, now with the introduction to a republished political tome that came out that he didn't tell her about during a hearing last month. I don't know if I'd want to be Roger Stone tomorrow, given the judge's demeanor today.